Welcome to the Great Old Ones channel. Here I talk about gaming in general and role-playing games in specific. Been a hobby of mine for a long time, so I like to talk about it a little bit. Today's topic will be Henchmen and Hirelings. It used to be an important part of adventuring. From the 2014 rules of the most popular fantasy role-playing game, there was minimal guidance. In older games, having hirelings and henchmen was crucial to survival. Encounters didn't care that you were a bunch of low-level characters. You still got eaten, and that was the balance of the encounter. So you hired mercenaries to accompany you or track henchmen. Henchmen and hirelings are non-player characters, typically played by the GM. Hirelings are generally non-leveling NPCs. Cooks, sages, blacksmiths, men-at-arms, stuff like that. Henchmen are generally level-advancing NPCs, if at a slower rate than the PCs. Fighters, clerics, magic users. Starting with original Dungeons & Dragons, OD&D, a PC can hire NPCs. Number is governed by your charisma stat. Loyalty factors are also governed by charisma. AD&D 1E expanded on the terms hirelings and henchmen. Management of hirelings consisted of loyalty from charisma and variable factors. For instance, the amount of compensation, the risk to the NPC, and the alignment of the PC. In addition to hirelings for certain jobs and henchmen to accompany the character on adventures, high-level PCs attracted followers. This was also governed by your PC's class. AD&D paladins may also get a warhorse as a follower of sorts. So, gives you some ideas of what the definition of what hirelings and NPCs are. As far as managing them goes, the thing to remember that these are not autonomous attachments to the player characters. They should be played as individuals themselves. Henchmen and hirelings were hired for do a certain job, and then they stop and they go off and do something else, whereas your henchmen are constantly accompanying you on your adventures. They aren't there to be your baggage handlers. They're not there to test the poisonous potions. They're not there to pick up the cursed items. And they, if played properly, they will actually refuse to do so. These are assistants and other aides and stuff that you hire for a share of the treasure and some of the experience to go on the adventure with you. They should be totally separate beings. A lot of game masters will offload those duties onto the player characters for the player characters to handle their NPCs because, as it makes sense, they are providing them direction and telling them where to go and what to do. However, one of the pitfalls they get caught in is not treating them like separate individuals. They quickly become, the baggage handlers from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, for example, a guy running around with a shopping cart on his back, all full of the gear, clapping coconuts together with no real other duties. That's not exactly what they should be doing. They are extra individuals that should be run as such, not extensions of the players. It's difficult for a game master to run all of those and run all of the monsters, all of the bad guys and stuff like this. So it logically makes sense to offload those duties onto the player characters. But it is incumbent upon the game master to make sure that these non-player characters played by the player characters are played as distinct individuals. They are separate. They have their own dreams and goals. And with AD&D and original Dungeons & Dragons, alignment played a big factor in whether or not the level of cooperation and stuff that you get out of them. As far as followers go, again, the type of henchmen of a certain sort. Now, these are more the fanatical types that will gather around clerics, for example, or the paladin, and they be probably going to be more likely to sacrifice themselves or something for the benefit of their player character, lord or master, or however you want to term it. But again, they should still be treated as and played as individuals, as separate characters, and not just attachments to the player character. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for any further videos that I can produce, please leave a comment. Please, and leave comments below. Let me know what you think about henchmen and hirelings and fanatical followers of player characters. Be happy to hear what your ideas and stuff are. Thanks again.